you want to see the fastest ever BL Touch install on a brand new printer? Well then check out the video. Installing a BL Touch on the BIQ B1 has to be the easiest BL Touch install I've done on a printer that didn't come with it already. So it did come with the metal bracket to attach the BL Touch to. In this case, I've already screwed it on. There's just the 2 long screws that come with the BL Touch. In between the bracket and the BL Touch itself are the springs on those screws. That gives us some adjustability in height while maintaining firm pressure against it so it doesn't jiggle around. So we just unscrew these 2 screws here from the front of the hot end, and we'll bolt this bracket onto there like that. And then, of course, we need to connect the BL Touch to the back of the printer. So in this case, you can use a BL Touch extension cable. We happen to have extension cables that already have one large connector in the right pinout for the back of the BIQ B1. So flip this guy around and let's take a quick look at the back here. So they already exposed the pins for the BL Touch probe on the back of the unit. So we don't have to open the unit and connect it right to the main board or anything. So starting from the left, we have essentially the Z-min signal and then the rest of the BL Touch pins essentially. In this case, the color coding or wire orientation is white and black, so that's for the Z-min. And then we have yellow, orange, and brown. And so we'll just connect this in like that. And all this is done, of course, with the printer off. All right, so now that we've got that connected, we'll end up following the same path as the USB-C cable, and I'll probably end up just zip tying it to the side of the USB cable. So it's going to come up along here like this. And I'll just end up zip tying it for now, just to the USB-C cable up here to kind of keep it out of the way and from falling off. I'll trim that later. And then, as I said, it's going to bolt onto the front here. So these are long M3 screws. So when you're plugging the cable into the back of the BL Touch, you want to make sure you have that connector oriented right. So the pins are slightly offset to the one side. So just make sure you have that rotated in the right direction. And then I'll pull up some of the slack here. There. I should probably add another zip tie over by the extruder to keep it from sagging down at the back there. But now that that's done, plug it in, turn it on, the BL Touch activated. It's not happy because it was too close to the bed, so it kind of bottomed out. I'm going to go to Menu and Movement, and I'm just going to home all axes. Now it's still going to be using the Z-min end stop over here, the mechanical end stop, to figure out where 0 is. Whereas you might be familiar with Z-safe homing on a BL Touch where it goes to the center of the bed and uses the probe to figure out where Z-min is. So it's kind of a combination. And then, you know, with the bed up to temperature, you can do the bed leveling routine. So under let's go back to the main menu, under Menu, and then under Movement, we have an ABL button. So right beside the leveling button where we would do our normal corner leveling with the paper that we did in the build video, we'll hit ABL. And right now ABL is listed as being off. So we'll hit ABL on, and at the top it says fade height off, bed leveling on, okay? And if we hit start, it will actually start the probing sequence. So now it's going to probe in a grid. And while this is going, I just want to explain a couple things. We've covered it in previous videos, but with the BL Touch, you're going to want, in your start script, in your slicer, you're going to want to do a G29, so that will kick off the BL Touch sequence. Or you can load a pre-saved mesh from your last probing with M420. And there are some other parameters that you can add to those if the need arises. M420S1 would load it from slot 1 for your grid. But to be safe, you can just run a G29 before your print. It takes just a couple minutes, and then your print will automatically start after that script runs. So that's it. In quite literally 5 minutes or so, I now have auto bed leveling on my brand new BIQ B1. Hopefully you found that useful. Remember to like and subscribe and ring the bell to get notified when we upload more videos like the BL Touch. Thanks for watching. Using our trusty Allen key and bolt this